Okay, after watching the tape, there's a lot of good things in the first half, obviously. We played really well, really both sides of the ball. Um, the second half, honestly, was really disappointing. We talk about details all week, and then, we had a lot of guys that, were poor technique errors or lineman errors or, you know, kind of getting away from doing their own thing. And so um, I'm going to say on them hard, try and get them back to being a lot more consistent than what we were in that second half, and trying to look more like the football team that was in the first half. So, questions?
Andrew, followed by Chris.
Yeah, Mike, in that second half with these young corners, I'm just curious to get your thoughts on how you're feeling just about the roller coaster you've kind of been on with Boyd and Dantzler and some of these guys.
Well, the thing I'm disappointed with the corners is, the guy got a cut split. They line up head up on the guy and they give him a chance to get there. We're supposed to be on top of the receiver, and we're running hip to hip with him. So, those kind of things really disappointing. Allowing 50-50 balls, and that's and what ended up happening was what happened. So, that's disappointing to me. We got guys in wide splits, and we're lined up head up on them instead of being inside. We didn't tackle a couple times in the perimeter. Ball got outside the corners a couple times on the perimeter in the run game. I thought Boyd competed really well. He had the one poor penalty, but he did a nice job as far as tackling and things like that. But, if he's on top of that receiver, that ball is not thrown, or it has to be a back shoulder fade, which is a much, much tougher. I didn't think Dantzler played very good in the red zone.
With Bashad Breeland, was he dealing with something going into the game as far as an illness, or did that just pop up, or what's going on with him?
It just happened during the game.
Did he get hit in the stomach or something?
No, I don't think so. But he's same thing with him. We line up in the right place and do the right things, and everything will be all right.
Mike, I know you made a little bit light of it last night with the TV ratings, but just how are you continuing to handle just the craziness of all these games going down to the wire, and then every time you have a lead, you guys seem to lose it? I mean, I read a story earlier today that you guys might be closing in on a record this season for most one-possession games in a season by an NFL team.
It's not the funnest, I can tell you that. But we got to be more disciplined. We got to do things right all the time, not let teams back in the game. We got to let we can't turn the ball over and let them intercept the ball and run it down the 20-yard line. We can't fumble the ball against Detroit in the first game. Things like that. It's all about the details of what we're doing, and we need to fix it quick, because we got 1 month left in the season, and we need to fix these things.
Matt, followed by Ben.
Hey, Mike, just how did you feel that the receiving core sort of adapted to not having Thielen in there? Just how did you feel like that adjustment was made last night?
I thought they did a good job. I thought KJ made some big plays. The interception that Kirk threw on the slant, he's got to get inside that guy. But for the most part, I thought they did a good job. We missed some throws to JJ. Had him open a couple times and missed him. I think they did all right.
Mike, you talked about the emphasis on the offensive line last night. After watching it back, how did you feel, especially that the guards did in the run game, opening holes up for Dalvin?
Yeah, I thought they did pretty well. They probably played as good as group. I think our two lines played, offense and defensive line played the best of the groups last night. I thought offensively, we made some creases in there and able to get some get some big runs. You know, it's more accustomed to what I've been seeing. I thought Blake Brandell came in and did a nice job as far as you know, a muscle tight end. You know, I thought he did a nice job last night. And then you know, as far as the guards, I think they both did fine.
Mark, followed by Dave.
Yeah, Mike, you know, in the old days back in 2019, it was enough to make it through a game healthy. Curious to know, as a head coach in today's world, what's the process like of, you know, you get through a game healthy, and then you got the daily COVID tests and the stress and wondering who's going to be the next person to beat the game. What's that like for as a head coach?
Well, when you know, I'm sitting in the meetings and I get a text from, you know, our trainer, Eric Sugarman, you know, and it says, so-and-so tested positive. It's like, you know, just trying to piece everything together, or, you know, this test was a false positive, you know, we have to rerun it, or this and that, and, you know, trying to figure all that out. It's I guess it's the way of the world right now, but, you know, and then compound it with some of the injuries and those things. But, you know, you just try to figure out a way. It's another annoying thing in your day.
Mike, you get like 11 days games, which is pretty rare this point in the season. I guess how do you balance the rest versus the, you know, needing to stay at it as you kind of go back to work next week?
Yeah, well, I think the players need to get away. You know, it's been a pretty good stretch, so I think they need to get away from me a little bit. And then, you know, I think that, you know, like I just got done talking to coaches and I watched the film. That's why I'm grouchy right now. But you know, I think when we get back, we need to really hone in on being more disciplined in the things that we're asking the players to do, and then making sure that they do it the way we want it done. And so I think that is, you know, kind of going to be our focus moving forward here when we try to start getting ready for Chicago.
So you're giving everyone 3 full days off before you come back?
Yeah.
Chris, followed by Don.
Yeah, Mike, after watching the film, I'm wondering what you could say additionally about Dalvin Cook. I mean, just how amazing it is a guy to come back from an injury like that, and, I mean, not just run for 100 yards, run for 200.
Yeah, well, Dalvin, you know, he's got exceptional vision, great feet, great acceleration, very, very tough. You know, fantastic player. The catch he made in the fourth quarter was an outstanding play. You know, he's just a really good player, great team leader. You know, I love him.
Mike, when it comes down to these one-possession games and the stress of it all, I know many teams learn from that experience, but on the flip side, has there been anything negative? You know, I mean, it wears on the guys a little bit. I know you're giving them 3 days off, but have you seen any of the wear and tear of that stress?
That's a good question, Don. I think what I've seen is a little bit of the, you know, when stuff starts to happen like it did last night, you know, oh, here we go again, kind of thing. I know I felt that way. I know, you know, kind of same way in Detroit. You know, I guess the good thing is we you know, it's hard to practice these last play of the game situations, you know, throughout the course of training camp and things like that all the time. And unfortunately, we're getting it now with, you know, every single week. So, but I really feel like if we start being more disciplined in our alignments and our techniques and our, you know, where we're supposed to be and what we're supposed to do, we don't have to make it like this. And that's what I'm going to stress to the players. And I'm not going to, you know, when they come back next week, they're going to get a full dose.
Time for 2 more with Andrew and Arif.
Hey, Mike, I wanted to ask you a couple things about Michael Pierce. Just in the 6 starts he's had for you, how much of a difference does he make controlling the line of scrimmage? And then was his snap count last night just a product of them being in so many passing situations?
Yeah, I think I thought Mike played well last night. Like I said, I thought both lines played well, but you know, he's very strong at the point of attack. I know he knocked a couple guys back. You know, the short yardage play, him and Dalvin both did. You know, I think that you know, we had a lot of nickel plays last night, but you know, I do think he can be an effective rusher. I know the one ball that can't remember what happened, but he knocked the ball loose and they challenged it, I think is what it was, and it was an incomplete pass. But I thought he had a good rush there. He's got some good push to the pocket, which helps the ends as well.
Harrison Smith seemed to have a pretty extraordinary game yesterday. Can you talk a little bit about kind of what he provides to the defense, both on plays where he's making a play and plays where he's away from the ball?
Well, I thought he really did a good job disguising last night. You know, Ben does a lot of things at the line of scrimmage where he's checking with run or pass, and I thought Harrison did a really nice job. But he also made some big plays. You know, obviously the last play of the game was a big play, but he made a lot of other big plays. You know, he played real hard. You know, Harrison's a tough competitor, very, very smart, very instinctive. Yeah, and you know, sometimes you know, like I asked him after the game, because he was kind of telling me in the last part of the game, you know, some call, and so I asked him after the game. I said, "What did you want me to call?" And so, you know, he's smart enough. You know, I got a couple guys that have been with me long enough to, you know, like Anthony Barr and Harrison Smith, that are able to communicate things that they like and they think in those situations, and a lot of times they'll come up with a lot of really, really good suggestions for us.